Things are going so well that the board is offering me a new contract, even though we're barely into December. Let's keep it going. So about that, I asked for more money and they said no. And then I asked for just tiny bit more money. Please, sir, can I have some more? And they said no, and we don't have a new contract. It's fine, we got plenty of time. We'll sort it out. It's all good. Anyway, since we last chatted together, it's been going well. It's been pretty good. We have won almost every single game since the Triesenberg game. A 5-1 demolition job of Bellinzona. A draw against Stade Nyon, which is a little bit unfortunate, away from home, and then 3 back-to-back home wins against Bavois, YF Juventus, and Breiten Rhein. So, overall, the only reason we're not top is that Schaffhausen is just kind of also doing really well. They did drop 2 points in the last game out against Münzingen, so hopefully today we can make some ground up on them. We are, of course, only 3 points down with a massively better goal difference. I don't know how Rapperswil has such a bad goal difference. I mean, they haven't even lost by that big margins. I guess they just always win by 1 goal. They had a 5-4 win in there somewhere. Huh. Anyway, we are going to be playing today against FC Zürich's under-21s and against Brühl. So, 2 games that are, in theory, a little bit harder. You know, Zürich, one of the better teams in the league with their youth team. Of course, Spetim Soleimani came to us from Zürich. And Brühl, a little bit more of a mid-table side, but still a team that is dangerous enough to be worth respecting. This is going to be the lineup today. Holby in goal. Sondrecker, Kaufmann on the wing, or on the left back, right back positions. Liuka and Yelassi in the middle because Timo Rigetti is out with a suspension. Bekiri and Chikaki in the middle with Dorta, Ayeti on the wings, and Soleimani and Vuleta up top. So, overall, I mean, the lines are looking great. We're playing fantastic. Kune came to me the other day asking for more playing time, and I was like, no, Dorta and Ayeti are really good, and he wasn't thrilled. So he's mad, but he'll survive. And other than that, there's not really that much else to say. Financially, negative 300 grand. We are going to continue going down and down and down until we actually get the prize money at the end of the year, but things are on track to look pretty solid. I mean, the projection never seems right to me. I don't know how they calculate the projection, but it always seems very, very wrong to me. But yeah, I mean, I think that by the end of next season, we could very well be 200-300 grand in positive. So I think we've got a lot going for us right now. But there's one way to make that guaranteed, is if we can get ourselves that top spot. If we can get promoted into the Challenge League. That is sort of the stretch goal. I mean, I feel like it would be a little bit overly optimistic to sort of say that that is the only goal of the season all of a sudden. But, ooh, speaking of promises, apparently I was going to give Ibrahimi game time. I think I gave him a little bit, and he didn't play well. I'm going to tell him he can leave. You know what? He can leave. It's fine. We have enough strikers. The big disappointment so far to me has to be Reto Scheller. I mean, the guy came in. He's got great attributes. I haven't really given him many chances to start, if we're being totally honest. But he's played 11 times off the bench. He started 2 games, and he's only scored once. So, Reto Scheller really not doing the business the way that I would have hoped for him to do. But when Soleimani and Dorta and Ayeti and Vuleta are all playing as well as they are, the game's postponed, guys. Cool. So, I actually think that this is kind of a blessing in disguise for this episode. We're still going to do the exact same games. They're just reversed if we look at the schedule now. Brühl will be next. Zürich will be 3 days after that. Basically, what that's going to mean is that Timo Rigetti will be back for the Zürich game, which I think is actually pretty nice. Yeah, Lassi just isn't quite as reliable in the back, so I think that having Rigetti in instead of Yelassi for the Zürich game is nice. You know, he'll serve a suspension against Brühl instead, so I'm pretty okay with that. In the meantime, I've got to sim through the week, and yeah, we'll get there, and we'll see if there's any new news in the meantime. So I asked him for another contract, and this time I only went up by 1 tick of money, and they just gave it to me. This is exactly what I asked for last time, and they said no, but they've given it to me this time, so hooray! We've signed a 2-year contract with Eschen Mauren. I've mentioned this a couple times before, but there seems to be a lot of people who are not quite as long-term players of Football Manager seem to be a little bit confused about why it's worth asking for more money, because technically that money is coming out of the club. It gives me a little bit less money to work with. It's because it makes it a lot more expensive for the club to actually sack you, so it becomes less likely that they sack you. It adds on to your job security. So that's kind of why it's worth asking for more money. Pretty much in any save, you can, if you're playing your own save, especially if you're playing sort of a journeyman save. Like sometimes if you want to take the risk, you can lower the amount of money to give you a little bit more to spend. But especially if you're doing a YouTube save where the whole concept is staying on the one team, it's probably worth trying to maximize the chances of you not getting sacked. One other little board update while we're going through. I am trying to push the board into moving from a semi-professional club to a professional club. I think that's probably not going to be something that we can accomplish until we do get promoted into the Challenge League. The problem that I'm worried about is I don't know how difficult it's going to be to survive in the Challenge League if we're a semi-professional team, because every single team in the Challenge League, except for the team that is last by a wide margin, is fully professional. So that's going to be a little bit yikes. I'm working on it. I think what's going to end up happening is that if we do get promoted, it's going to be all about surviving that first season, making the jump to professional, then spending one more season kind of consolidating things with the new status, and then making a push. But for now, the lineup remains the same. Nothing else has happened. We're going to kick things off against Brühl in what looks like a pretty large stadium, and we've been playing pretty much exclusively home games lately. So let's see how we can change things up, how we can make things work on the away side of things. Of course, the last away game, the only draw in our last 5 games. Thomas Holby with a 7 already. And, I mean, given how high the XG is, I'm a little bit weirded out that we haven't seen any highlights. We do have key highlights on. Seems like a lot is happening, but nothing worth showing us, apparently, as YF Juventus actually beating City. But the more important thing is Schaffhausen. We need them to drop points. A good chance for them to do so against Gatesay today, but Grasshopper's not really doing much for us. That's it. That's the end of the first half. That's awesome. Great content. So we are going to make 2 substitutes. We're going to bring Bujarlika in as a ball-winning midfielder on the right, or on the left rather. Chikaki moves up to the advanced playmaker role with Edon Bekiri coming off. Yehedi Alassi is also coming off for Olcay Gur. Both of those guys just weren't really playing too great. We're also going to attacking, because I just want to see something. I want to see some highlights, some sign of life, please. As Schaffhausen now lead 2-0, it's looking unlikely that they will drop points to Gatesay. We need something to happen. Nothing is happening. Finally, 62 minutes in, we're getting our first highlight of the game. Driving rain here in Brühl. I'm not actually sure where Brühl is, but let's see. Can we get the ball off them? They are looking a little dangerous with Pavlovic, but it's a nice tackle by Zonderecker, and now a chance for us to potentially counterattack Vuleta. We have Soleimani there trying to make a bit of a run, but the ball isn't there. Still ours for the taking, though, as Gur can't quite get the ball forward well enough. Really hard to see whose highlight this is going to end up being, but it's looking like more and more like it's Perlaska here as he's rattled the post with it. And that's going to be it for that highlight. Will we see a little bit more action? Well, Babueta is going to be... Oh, it's a good free kick. It's on target for Holby, though. We're going to go back to positive because at this point it doesn't look like we're really pushing for a win here. We're sort of inviting more pressure on, and it's not... I mean, a draw is not the end of the world away from home, as it's another good opportunity for Richner, but Holby doesn't have to really get involved there too much, as we've got Denis Liuka playing very well. He's the only one really playing particularly well with 13 minutes left in the game. You know what? It's gonna be Scheller. It's gotta be Scheller, right? Like, I mean, I don't know who I want to bring on, but like, Kuhn has been a whiny little bitch lately. Ibrahimi's been a whiny little bitch lately. So you know what? Scheller gets the chance to make the difference because he's not being a whiny little baby. Dorta now on the move. Vuleta is there. Where is Scheller? I mean, it doesn't really matter. Vuleta has acres of space. And on the first highlight for us of the game, in the 80th minute, Stepan Vuleta makes it 1-0. 10th goal of the season. All right, I mean, they just put way too many men forward. They left one single man alone to mark at the end there. You can see nobody's even getting back. Vuleta given far too much space, far too much time. And that is good. I mean, we'll take it. Dorta with an opportunity for the free kick to play it in. Vuleta tries to get to it again. How? The angle on that shot. How has he put that in? That is mind-blowing. So Dorta plays it in. I mean, it looks like it's just too far forward. I mean, that's unbelievable. The keeper, it's unbelievable that the keeper doesn't save it, but that's still an unbelievable goal. Vuleta, late doors, making all the difference in the world for this game, as there's still time left with another highlight to go. Are we going to make it 3 just to rub salt in the wound, or are they going to get a consolation? No, neither. Liechtenstein is going to put it far too wide to be of any real consequence. And at the end of the day, Stepan Vuleta absolutely carrying the boys over the finish line. A 2-0 away win over Brühl. A boring game for the most part, but that is going to be enough for us to secure the 3 points. Keeping pace with Schaffhausen for now. 9 games unbeaten, you love to see it. That was also an unbeaten run for Köln. It's coming to an end as we continue to... Oh, wait a minute. Schaffhausen lost against Rapperswil, so we actually have the opportunity to go top if we win our game in hand. I forgot to check about that. So with that, our game in hand will take us top if we can win against FC Zürich, who just suffered a humiliating defeat and are in a... Oh, this is the wrong Zürich team, who just suffered a humiliating defeat and are not in the best of form. So with that, excellent. I mean, I don't really know if I want to change too much. We are going to change... we're going to change, I think. Rigetti will come in for Yelassi. And really, Bekiri hasn't been playing great. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to change the Mazala to an advanced playmaker on the left-hand side and bring Bujar Lika in. Lika also hasn't been playing fantastically, but it'll be... We'll see if he can make a difference this time around. I mean, Chikaki is a very on and off kind of player, but he is kind of the heartbeat of the midfield a lot of the time. Not playing him as a Mazala is a little bit oof, but I want some playmakery player in here, right? Like, I don't want to just be playing a ball winner in a Mazala, so I think this can work. And in the meantime, we're going to just head on forward, and we're going to crush Zürich. We're going to crush them. So I've actually changed my mind a little bit. We're going to drop Bekiri entirely. Lika will maintain his position on the bench, but I'm actually going to bring Rodriguez Ferreira in for his first start of the season. I really like how Chikaki plays in this Mazala role, so we're going to be bringing in Rodriguez Ferreira to play as a deep-lying playmaker here. That way we can keep this Mazala position and keep the playmakery aspect of this side of things. And Rodriguez Ferreira, you know, actually, hold on. While we'll look at this together. Is he better as a deep-lying playmaker or as an attacking playmaker, an advanced playmaker? I feel like he's probably going to be better as the deep-lying. Yeah, he just doesn't have the flair for advanced playmaker. So we're going to be playing this. Vincent Flatz is another guy who we could consider bringing in, but he doesn't really playmake particularly well. So we do have all of these center mids that we could be looking at. So even though Bujar Lika is very, very good overall, he hasn't played quite as well. So Rodriguez Ferreira, he's going to be the guy who gets the nod. The rest of the team remains the exact same, except for Rigetti, of course, coming in for Yihed Yelassi that I mentioned a little bit earlier. And that's going to be the lineup for today's game against FC Zürich. Shouldn't be really anything else to watch. I don't think there's any other games going on. As we have, this is obviously a game in hand from when it got postponed. But let's make things happen. We are going to be in, I believe, the yellow and black today. One of our rarer kits that we don't see too often. And yeah, it's looking like that's going to be us from right to left to start things off. Ayeti running up the wing, tries to find a ball in. It's Suleimani! Oh, the former Zurich boy. It's a good opportunity, but he's not quite able to get it past the last man. Immediate corner for Dorta following this. Gets a ball in, but doesn't really accomplish much at all. 19 minutes down. Sonderecker with a throw. Let's see if we can build something here. Dorta was a little bit quiet in the last game. He's playing extremely well lately, but the last game just a little bit quiet. It's a good through ball from Ferreira. Really trying to impress me. Doing a pretty good job so far. Suleimani, though, missing a second big opportunity. He's got to make those count just a little bit more than he is so far. The follow-up corner, once again, not going to amount to too much, but is that the highlight, or are we going to see something else coming from here? Suleimani goes very, very deep to pick it up. And you can see our defensive line. I do like this. Our defensive line does not really try to push up. We don't care about set pieces that much because we don't really need to, right? I feel like at this level of play, oftentimes you'll just get hit on the break from a set piece and concede really easily. So even though we have some big, tall center backs, I feel like it's honestly just better to not use them on the on things like corners. Oh, Dorta manages to put it in. It's another great opportunity by Suleimani, but Polat with the saves can only save so many shots though as Dorta slots home. Very nice. As I was saying though, I like it when the on set pieces the center backs stay back because I really don't want to have our opponents be able to sort of break on just a single center back down there. And we score enough without set pieces that I don't think it's super necessary for us to bring them forwards. As once again, speaking of scoring from open play, it's another good opportunity by Dorta, but Polat with a good save. Halftime comes to a close here, and not really too much to complain about. We're just going to jump straight into the second half. Almost our entire team playing super well. Kaufmann kind of the only exception to that rule. We can always bring him off. He is one of those players that... oh, very close by Chikaki. Kaufmann has a very high value, right? He's rated very highly by the staff. He's also paid way too much money. So he's definitely somebody that I think I'm going to look to move on. He doesn't fit the system quite as much as I would have liked, but Chikaki with an absolute banger there. My God. What an absolute king. See, this is why I wanted to keep him in that role. Every now and then he just pops up and does something absolutely magical. Brilliantly worked move. And I mean, we're making FC look like a joke. And again, we have another opportunity potentially right here, but no, it's cleared. But the hold-up play is good from them. Can we close them down? Costinha loses out to Chikaki again. He's just on top of things. Dorta making a move, cutting on towards the inside there. Vuleta with a little bit of space. Oh, it's off the upper 90 there. It's not quite going to be enough. Good clearance there, but it's been non-stop domination by Eschenmauren today. We are doing so well against what is, on paper, one of the better teams in the league. And with the way we're playing, if we can keep this run going for just a little bit longer, I rate our chances of doing well this season and maybe even winning the league reasonably high. If we don't do it this season, it's going to be hard. You know, this is exactly the kind of league system where it can be easy to get stuck in the mire and spend 4, 5, 6 seasons trying to get out of it, because we're talking we're talking about a situation where there's 16 teams, no playoffs, just one promoted team. So it can be very, very easy. Even if you have an amazing team, even if you have an amazing setup, it can be really, really easy to have one tiny run of bad form that costs you the season. So when you have an opportunity like this, where halfway through the season you're top of the league if we win this game, then you really need to try to take that by the horns and just make it happen that season. Otherwise, you could end up wishing that you'd made that happen for several seasons to come. But in the meantime, this game is not yet over. 22 minutes are left. Ayeti is beginning to look a little bit tired, so we're going to bring Kühne on for him. Mikos is going to come on for Kaufmann, who's still not playing well. And let's hope that nothing too untoward happens from this highlight. Okay, good. Oh, what? What? It cut and it made it look like that was not a penalty, but Hobie almost gets to it. Not thrilled. The game, it's not just me, right? The game made it look like that was not a penalty. Well, we've got 20 minutes to turn this around. We've dominated the vast majority of the game. The last 15 minutes or so have been a little bit awkward. We need to find ourselves back in the driver's seat here, because a win is so pivotal to the way our season looks from here on out. Suleimani can't quite win the header. Oh, no. Now Costinha's on it. Nobody's closing him down. The shot from distance goes in, but it's just a little bit too wide. What we're going to do is we're actually going to yell at the boys a little bit. We're not going to change anything, but we are going to yell at them. No, stop. All right, we have a highlight with Rigetti starting out on an indirect free kick. Mikos, we're not really making much happen right now. I feel like we go attacking if we don't make something happen with this highlight right here. Kühne, he has not impressed me. It's his one opportunity to actually make it look like he can make a difference here. Ferreira has been pretty okay today, but Sondrecker finds a ball in. Kühne can't quite make it happen, but Vuleta picks up the loose ball. Can we find it? Kühne has all the space in the world there and just completely cocks it up. Not thrilled with that. And he's not exactly making a case for why he should continue to, or why he should be starting over Ayeti here. 8 minutes remain as Zurich trying to move forward. Rodriguez Ferreira does well to intervene there, even if he doesn't quite get the ball. And it's cleared. Kühne with a long ball forward. Vuleta trying to beat his man. He does. And he slots home. It's 3. Vuleta. Oh man, when the things look, when the game is tied and we're getting into the latter stages, that's when Vuleta comes alive. He's done it again. Now we need to chill out a little bit. We're gonna bring things back to positive. You know what? I think we just go balanced. I think we just go back to balanced. Slow down the pace a little bit. We're not gonna waste time, but we're gonna be a little bit more disciplined. And we're also going to bring Sondrecker a little bit further back. We're going to play him as a fullback on defend. All right. Now we just need to see this out. 6.5 minutes. I'm not sure if this is a highlight or if this is just a we change tactics kind of deal, but looks like it's the latter. Thomas Holby with a pretty good rating, all things considered. 5 minutes of injury time, but it's looking like we are just slowing the game down just enough. And that's going to be it. Ooh, FC Zurich 2, Eschen Mauren 3. And it's a good win for us. It's a good win that puts us top of the table. It's all coming together, guys. It is all coming together. Fantastic result. So proud. Our star man is Stjepan Vuleta. The social feed is thrilled. We're also taking Diogo Costa on a trial for a little bit. He looks, in theory, I mean, we don't know anything about him right now, but in theory, he looks pretty good. He's played in Challenge League for the last 3 seasons. He was released from Kriens this season, and I feel like there's a decent chance that he might be able to play the right back role a little bit better than Kaufmann, so we're going to bring him on trial for that. And in the meantime, there was also one player that interested me in the Zurich game, Luca Frey, who I kind of want to see if I can bring in on loan, honestly. He seems very, very, very good. And here he is. Can I bring him in on loan? Will they do it? No. So with all that considered, guys, we have our work cut out for us. Let's see. We play Vaduz in the Cup semi-final again, by the way. I'm not sure if I mentioned that in the last video. So once again, they don't seem to want the big-ticket finals games. Vaduz, though, struggling. They are having a struggle bus of a season. 16 points off the pace. Not looking good at all. They are the best of the rest, I guess you could say. But it's a 3-horse race in the Challenge League between Winterthur, Geze, and Aarau. So it's another... I mean, arguably, this should be a season where we have an even better chance of taking them out. While we're looking at other Liechtenstein teams, how is Balzers doing? Very badly. Very, very badly. But, well, with all that considered, we will come back. You know what, guys? I mean, we've seen how the end of the season can get sometimes. I think we come back for Nyon versus Vaduz. You know, but the league title's hot. The league is hotting up a little bit. No, we're going to come back for Schaffhausen versus Schaffhausen and Rapperswil. That's the plan. The big game against Schaffhausen here. That is maybe the game-deciding, or the season-deciding match right here. So Schaffhausen and Rapperswil will be next on the ticket. And then we'll look at the cup maybe as we look at sort of maybe a triple header to end the season. So, with all that in mind, I will see you guys for the next episode of Liechtenstein Legends. If you've enjoyed it, leave a like. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button and the bell to know when the new episodes go live. And let me know in the comments below if you think that we can do the double. Can we get promoted? Can we win the cup again? can we go back to Europe? And I guess there's so many things that we're working for as well. Can we get more money in? Can we go to positive balance in our finances? There's so many things that we're trying to do right now, and they're all equally awesome. I will see you guys next time to see how we're getting on against Schaffhausen.